My name is Ralph DeTucci, and I'm a professional hospitality consultant with over 25 years in the food and beverage industry. Some of the most important problems that I see in businesses are inefficient or lost time to labor. I see a loss in product during prep time and execution of different menus. I think the biggest problem that people run into is not having enough time to cover all their bases. I'm passionate about using data to drive businesses because data takes the emotional guesswork out of the decision-making process. What I like best about the Hoptix 720 system is that owners and managers can use it in a multitude of ways to improve their businesses. Using statistical data will help them ensure that they have the right strategy and the right team on the floor at the right time to maximize their sales and profits. This is going to lead to a better guest experience, which translates into a healthier top and bottom line. The word that I would use to describe Hoptix 720 is limitless. There are just so many different ways that you can apply this system and the data that it generates to improve your business. From ergonomics and the layout of your space to make sure you're making the most of your square footage, to the data that allows you to make sure you're employing efficient labor strategies, to being able to observe the ticket times, observe the greetings, observe the guest experience. There are thousands of ways that you can use this data to make tiny adjustments to your business that all drop down to the bottom line. Hoptix is a coaching tool to help improve performances with your team members. What I really like most about the system, though, is that it provides information and statistical data that you just can't get anywhere else. Nobody's really measuring this stuff. It's on such a small level of detail sometimes, but sometimes it's the little things that make the big difference. Having that data at your fingertips just allows the guesswork to melt away. You can now start implementing strategies instead of trying to figure out why is food taking a long time or why is food cold. The Hoptix 720 system can easily be used for team development and increasing team engagement, being able to capture video and statistics that determine the success of different employees' performance. It's an amazing advantage that you'd have to spend a lot of manual time in if you wanted to create the same kind of experience for your team. The system's excellent for people with multiple locations. Having all that information in one place allows you to have comparisons between venues so that you're able to replicate successes that you're having at one venue in multiple locations, or possibly address a problem that you saw in one location and zero in on that on other locations. If I were to describe the Hoptix 720 team, the first thing that I would discuss is their commitment to staying in front of the industry. They're constantly working with industry professionals, owners, and managers to understand the elements that really matter to their business on a day-to-day basis. I think that to turn out a consistent product and give the guest the best possible experience is a challenging thing to do without being able to measure the way that your team and venue are performing. Hoptix gives you some tools that are incredibly valuable for measuring pieces of the game that other people aren't measuring. Some of the issues that owners deal with are loss of product in prep work, loss of time in terms of labor deployment out on the floor. There may be guests that are not receiving the attention in a timely manner that they need. Those are issues that, unless you're there observing the actual performance, you'd never be able to measure. Another issue that owners and managers have is how to communicate with staff when you want to improve or implement strategies in your venue. When you have video data along with statistical analysis, it makes it pretty easy to coach your team and say, look, these are successful performances that we've had in the past. We want to replicate those so that we can become more consistent and deliver that top quality guest experience. I think the future of hospitality is being driven more and more by data and metrics and less by feeling or by opinion or by who we think is a great performer. Now that we're able to measure performance, I think that that's going to be the trend that dominates the industry. I think that rather than guessing at stuff, people would like to know what's going on in their operation. Hoptix gives you an opportunity to truly know and to not have to stand there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, measuring, understanding, and evaluating your team. You can have data, you can have a visual representation of those performances, you can use that system to be able to get your team better fast. And I think that that's what most owners want.